Okay, here's the problem now. When this furnace went out about a week ago, the temperatures were in the single digits. Single digits, which is below 30 degrees when this furnace went out. The owner has said that if they can't get somebody to replace this furnace in this house by the 2nd of February, the house is going to be boarded up. It's going to be boarded up and closed up by the owner. Because she says, I'm not going to have people living in this house, paying rent, and this furnace has failed 5 times. I find it despicable and just absolutely ridiculous that this woman is getting the raw end of the shaft by the housing network and other agencies that's supposed to be able to help somebody. Admittedly, it is an emergency when a furnace goes out in the middle of the winter. It's an emergency, really. When you have temperatures that fall below 30 degrees outside and the gas has not been disconnected for non-payment, she has a valid right to request somebody to help her with that furnace. You see that little green light there? That's actually the motherboard on this furnace. But as you can see, there's no fire, no heat coming out of this furnace. Almost a week now. Even though the temperature went back the other way, it went to 40, 50 degrees. It's not the point where it went to 40, 50 degrees. Last weekend, the temperatures dropped to 8 degrees at night. Now you mean tell me no agency will help her? Nobody should charge her because nobody deserves to be charged to replace that furnace. All because the housing network in 2015 came and put that furnace in, and this furnace has malfunctioned 5 times. She said it was replaced brand new, and she had 2 people to come here to repair the furnace to get it working previous times. Now this time, this furnace has been out, even though she replaced the part on that furnace last weekend for about $89, $90. Anytime a person has a furnace who goes out, sometimes you just have to say, okay, in her case, in her stipulation, she's not working, she's not employed. The only income that she's really making is off of this house for room and board. But unfortunately, by the 2nd, if this furnace is not replaced with a working furnace, she says, I'm not going to have anybody else repair this furnace because she's gone through it multiple times and she just needs somebody to help donate a furnace. And that will not cost her out of pocket money that most people cannot afford to replace a furnace on a day where, as I say, a week ago on the 14th, this furnace completely went out. Now, to the housing network, since you're the person who she authorized to put this furnace in 2015, you all are wrong. You were supposed to give this woman the paperwork for the warranty, which she has never received from the housing network. Now you have a furnace that's not working. It's just sitting here idle, not doing anything. But unfortunately, it's bad because of the fact that when the temperature goes back the other way again, whenever that is, I hope that it doesn't go back to single digits like it has. Because when it gets that cold and your furnace conks out on you and it malfunctions and it stops working, that is an emergency situation. And to anybody who is looking at this is not fair to anyone. It's not fair to anybody. Really, it's not. It's not fair to anyone who has had a furnace that's gone out like that. Okay? No matter who you are, how rich you are, how poor you are, whether you have the means to afford to get a furnace replaced. Unfortunately, it's inhumane to mistreat and give somebody the wrong end of the shaft over a furnace that she authorized the housing network to put in 2015. It's inhumane to have a furnace go out in somebody's house other than if the gas was cut off to the house. Now, if the gas was cut off to the house, then that's one thing. Then, I understand if the gas cut off, there's no heat coming into the house because somebody didn't pay their bill. But this is not the issue. This is an issue of a furnace that was put in brand new by her. And she says, I had 2 times where I had to call somebody to repair that furnace. twice within that 5-year period since 2015. This is 2018 of January. So let me give you a clue. I hope that the local news station sees this. I hope that someone gets a hold of someone to go to the top office of the housing network. And I hope somebody goes to the corporate office and demands that somebody, do something about this. Whether or not, if she was supposed to recertify any paperwork to get another furnace within a year warranty, that's debatable and argumentative. Okay. But anyway, when you authorize the housing network or anyone to put in a brand new furnace, the last thing you are thinking about is that a furnace is going to go out in your house on a day where it's less than 30 degrees. People actually freeze to death in outside temperatures that are less than 30 degrees. And you shouldn't have had the temperature in this house drop because the furnace went out a week ago. Now it's about 40, 50 degrees outside. It doesn't make any difference if it's 40, 50 degrees outside. It does not make a difference. It is the principle of the matter that a lot of these agencies that's supposed to help the elderly and the disabled and the infirm ones, a lot of these agencies are actually giving people the raw end of the shaft instead of helping them. And this is one of those persons who's got a furnace sitting here and it's not producing any heat.